Tag TV, and Tag Radio. Technology now has a voice of innovation and information. Get it on www.tagtvonline.com. Some executives manage men, some executives manage things, and those who manage the future are the ones who manage the money. Venture capital, key to business startups, existing and small enterprises, and an overall growth in developing economies. The ultimate source of job creation and super tool for economic development. Venture capitalists invested some $6.6 million in some 797 deals in the U.S. during a single quarter of 2006. And a more recent survey found that the majority, 69% of venture capitalists predict that VC investments in the U.S. will level between $20 and $29 billion once 2007 is fully calculated. Greetings, everyone. It's Tuesday, April 8th, 2008, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. I'm your guest host, Frank Baia. April is Venture Capital Month here at Tech Talk as we look into the doers, deal makers, and decisions that bring the big bucks to fund the next big idea. Up to the discussion today is Allyson Eman, Executive Director, Venture Atlanta 08, the exciting upcoming new money-making conference that experts are already predicting will be Georgia's largest venture capital event in history. Three of the state's premier organizations, the Atlanta CEO Council, the Technology Association of Georgia, and the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, are uniting behind Venture Atlanta to bring together the best and the brightest from across the state to meet investors, well, from around the world. Allyson is at the center of this mega event, responsible for all planning, marketing, building, and growing this one-of-a-kind, bigger-than-ever economic development and business opportunity accelerator. A former senior vice president for one of the top privately held mortgage lenders in the U.S., Allyson helped to lead that company to be recognized as one of Atlanta's top employers by the Atlanta Business Chronicle for 5 consecutive years. Top-tier venture capitalists, together with Georgia's most innovative emerging technology companies, nationally recognized keynote speakers, panel discussions on the hottest trends, and Georgia's best and brightest companies. Allyson, Venture Atlanta 08, I guess it doesn't get any more exciting or more important than this. How are things shaping up?
Well, Frank, thank you for having me. Things are shaping up really pretty terrific. We're moving forward very, very well. We've got our website launching. We have sponsors on board. We have everyone excited in the city of Atlanta and around Georgia. I've been on board since December, and I got to tell you, really, kind of been just hitting the ground running. And what's been so exciting for me is everyone I talk to, whether it be venture capitalists or law firms or accounting firms or anyone involved in this avenue, is just so glad that we're bringing Venture Atlanta to Georgia.
Now, one of the things that we've often talk about is the challenge as far as venture capital is in finding venture capital in the greater Atlanta area. Certainly, this is going to be a good opportunity to get greater awareness and to bring the two sides together, the companies and obviously the money.
You're exactly right.
Let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned the website now. That's ventureatlanta08.org, am I correct?
It's actually ventureatlanta.org.
Ventureatlanta.org. And, of course, right now I'm guessing that a lot of the conference early planning is underway. So you're kind of looking at, let's say, sponsors. Is that part of the initiative at this point?
We are already lucky enough to have several sponsors on board. We're certainly looking for more. We'll be promoting our event across the country to venture capitalists to get them to Georgia to see what great companies we have to offer. Obviously, one of the big goals is to raise awareness of Georgia's best and brightest companies, as you mentioned earlier.
And the Chamber, the Atlanta Chamber's involved, also the CEO Council, TAG's involved. I think also, if I understand correctly, and I know they are, and that's Georgia Tech's Venture Lab and Advanced Technology Development Center. I think they're going to be participating along with some of their people. They
are. You're absolutely right. What I'm so excited about is that, we had the Atlanta CEO Council had put on Ion Venture Forum for 6 years, and building on the success of that, TAG and the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce have come together and said, we really need to work together as a team and really make this a community effort. So Georgia Tech Venture Lab, ATDC, yes, they'll be presenting some of their early stage companies on the 15th when we kick off, and we're just so pleased to have some of their companies present for us.
Most of our listeners are either on one side or the other. Actually, probably some of them have even been funded by past events, and also a lot of them are just startups and looking for money, and then again, investors as well. Let's break it down now. Let's talk about the goals of the conference itself. Let's talk in terms of awareness. You mentioned marketing outside the city, obviously, marketing around the state, but will you be marketing throughout the United States as well?
We absolutely will, yes. We have our first initial marketing campaign, actually, which was mailed out last Friday, and it's going out to venture capitalists and to investors across the nation.
Do you expect a large number of attendees? What kind of numbers are we looking at? We mentioned, I know a lot of people that I've been talking to are really excited about this, and I mentioned it in the intro, a little bit of a hyperbole, but I don't think it really is, and that is this could very well be one of the largest conferences ever held.
Absolutely. Our target is 500 attendees. We feel like we'll hit that very easily. Hopefully, even be greater. Obviously, this is our first year, but we've got a fantastic board behind us. Alan Mosley from Nora Mosley Partners and Fred Sturgis from HIG Ventures are our chair and co-chair. And we feel like we really have the muscle and the power behind us to get our attendees there. And we know we're going to put on such a great conference that they're going to come back, and they're going to come back in greater numbers next year.
Talk a little bit about some of the other planning for the event. I know that there is discussion about having some keynote speakers, also some panels, and talking about some latest trends. Have you really developed that any further at this point, or are we still kind of evaluating?
We're kind of still in the initial stages of that, but obviously one hot topic today is digital entertainment, media, and gaming, and that is probably going to be the focus of our panel discussion. We do have a couple speakers lined up already, and we're working on some more. So again, we want to make sure that there's value for everyone, and everyone sees that we're on the cusp of the trends of today.
When you talk about that's really kind of interesting because it hasn't been all that long ago when gaming really wasn't taken all that seriously, and now it's a case where it's overcoming the entire entertainment industry, and I think most people would agree that unquestionably it's a hot topic. I was speaking to a gaming executive the other day. He was telling me a company called CDC, now not to be confused with the Center for Disease Control, but CDC, which is one of the largest gaming developers out of China, somebody with like 100 million subscribers of gaming, is moving their headquarters to Atlanta. So
wow. The
idea of some of the things that are already happening with Caneva and other developers, Chris Klaus and his people, and I believe there's even a gaming association that's evolving over the last year or so. My guess is that this is not only a hot topic now, but by the time the event is up and going and the panel is formed, that's going to be right in the key zone of interest.
Absolutely. Well, I know a lot of my money this past season went to Nintendo.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about, I do want to cover sponsorship. We're at an early stage. Certainly with TAG's support of the event, my guess is that you're going to be on Tech Talk a couple of more times. The event's in October. Am I correct?
Absolutely. October 15th and 16th.
15th and 16th, Omni Hotel?
At the Omni Hotel down at CNN Center. So great location, easy to get to from the airport.
So when we're talking about a sponsorship opportunity, sooner rather than later get you involved in more of the promotion and activity that happens prior to the event?
Absolutely. Obviously, as you said, I came from a mortgage lender. My background, runs pretty deep in marketing. So, when I was brought on, it's, how can we promote this? How can we, give our sponsors more bang for their buck? We're going to be putting together a blog that our sponsors are going to be able to have a part of that. Right now they have 6 months plus of exposure. Sometimes a lot of these conferences, the sponsors might get their name out there for a couple months. So, we started early purposely. When you could see from our website that's launched that we already have 15 plus sponsors in our different levels. We did not put together 15 different levels of sponsors purposely. We wanted it to be easy. We want to have, quality companies, be our sponsors, and we want to truly have partners for years to come.
VentureAtlanta.org. Can't mention the website too many times. I know it's launching live, and it will be live when we're listening to this radio presentation. And so anyone who's interested is going to want to check it out. I think also another interesting, I cannot believe the buzz that this thing has already gotten. I've again had an opportunity to speak to a couple of VCs, and everyone's really, really very excited about this thing.
That is great. I've been out in Atlanta for months promoting it, really myself and, our whole executive board has as well. The Chamber of Commerce has a marketing technology committee meeting that John Yates from Morris, Manning & Martin endorsed us back in January, and we've gone to several different events with tech links and different groups. So we hope the buzz continues.
Bringing all the players together, creating one mega event, I think is really the ultimate answer, and that's the part that is so great about the collaboration that has been put together here, because these organizations sometimes can not necessarily compete because they're all doing, as you pointed out, the same thing, and that's attempting to grow the economy, building jobs for Georgia. But then you've got conflicts and dates and all those things, so having it all at one time, all at one place, really makes it easier and makes it more efficient and effective without question. Let's talk a little bit about the companies. When will you be asking for the companies to apply as far as making presentations at the event? We'll
be putting out a call for companies in May. So look for some PR surrounding it, and obviously some more information via email and via the web for our call for companies. But right now, there is a brief application on our website, so companies can start sending me some information as of today.
And there's all technologies?
Yes.
No restrictions?
Right,
no restrictions geographic area. This is statewide participation.
Right.
I'm going to assume that it is restricted to state of Georgia companies?
It absolutely is. You are correct.
Okay. So once again, if you have any interest, you're going to want to go to ventureatlanta.org to get basic information. Be watching for more application information and criteria come May. Now let's get into a little bit more. I know you mentioned our first time, so the obvious thing is this isn't going to be a one-time event. The idea is to make this a regular, ongoing conference?
Absolutely.
And so what we'll be looking at, are you thinking in terms of it always being around the same time of the year so that we traditionally will look to October as being sort of that?
Absolutely. I think, it really helps. One of the, again, my marketing background, what I'm doing is building a brand for Venture Atlanta. So, we'd like in 10 years there's Venture Atlanta. I mean, obviously we could hope to be as successful as the Florida Venture Forum after 17 years. So we're in our infancy stage, but, the company I was with last, I built from the day we opened till the day we closed for 9.5 years. So my passion and commitment runs pretty deep. So we will, probably have it, around the middle of October every year. Hopefully fall in Atlanta is a great time and great place to be.
Well, and I'm assuming again that the sponsorship applications, I'm probably repeating myself, those are available, the information as far as that is on the website.
It absolutely
and how they might contact you. Is there an email contact point on the website? Or
there
is there an email?
My contact information and as well as my phone number are online. I'm more than happy to take calls and to answer questions from anyone.
Well, again, Allyson, let's tell everybody, mark your calendars, Venture Atlanta 08. It's October the 15th and the 16th. It's at the Atlanta Omni Hotel. The URL for more information, again, is at ventureatlanta.org. And we've been talking to Allyson Eman, and Allyson, it sounds to me like got a tiger by the tail, nothing but great success and great opportunity for all of our players, both on both sides, the venture capitalists and the entrepreneurs that are looking for those big bucks in funding. Thank you so much for joining us on Tech Talk today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and please, anyone who's interested in Venture Atlanta, please check out our website.